Third grade.
Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Mayor, will you do roll call, please?
Lean
Yes,
forward.
Okay, Mayor's going to do the roll call.
okay. Kevin,
Here.
Justin,
Here.
Bob Kibe,
Here.
Bob Mack,
Here.
that's okay. McAdoo,
I'm here.
John Mack.
My ball.
Justin, Jason,
Happily
Sue
present.
Wood, solicitor, and mayor.
Are you here?
I'm here. Okay. Okay, everyone on the table.
We have a physical quorum tonight, so we can conduct business. We do not have our borough secretary tonight, so we do not have reports from the secretary, financial reports, meeting minutes. So we're a bit of a disadvantage, but we'll get through it. We have everything we need to carry on and conduct business for tonight. The agenda was duly published 24 hours ago, so we're good to go there. Just a couple of notes, decorum. Please, Sue, if you get angry in any outbursts, please keep them to a limit. Simmer down. Okay, no name calling. Please silence your phones or turn them on mute, please. We are recording here tonight, so again, no outbursts, okay, because you'll be on record. And if you need, we will have the agenda up here, and we will be looking at some other things that are relevant to tonight's agenda. But if you need a paper copy of the agenda, let us know.
Everyone's been distributed.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. And Mayor, you have everyone signed up to speak?
It's right here, it's been in front of everyone as they walked in. Did anyone want to sign to walk? Okay,
I did.
okay, we have a signature, yeah, when we get
Okay.
there.
All right, good. Moving right along. We have no minutes to approve. The current agenda, are there any significant changes, amendments to the current agenda? This has been posted, as I said, 24 hours out there. Council, you have had a chance to see this well before that. Anything that you want to amend here before we proceed?
How many extra agendas?
Oh,
Oh, hang on.
Okay, just a reminder, this is our regular business meeting. It's our time to deliberate and act upon things such as ordinances and resolutions and motions that we worked through, discussed at our previous meeting, the work session. So we're going to stick to that goal tonight. So no reportings except for a few reports that we will entertain. But basically, we're going to take up the business at hand here. And if Bob Kibe, if you aren't so verbose, we will get through and out of here early tonight. Okay?
You can count on me.
Okay. All right. So, does tonight's agenda stand? Is it okay with everybody? Okay, with that. Office of the Mayor, do you have anything that you would like to bring up? Yeah.
yes, just one thing, I attended the Beaver Falls neighborhood watch meeting, and it was very good. It was very educational. We learned a lot about, throughout all of Beaver Falls, the drugs and the drug task forces and the collaboration of how they go about picking up and doing their due diligence to nab and get drugs off the streets of everywhere throughout, not only Beaver Falls, but all over Beaver County. They had pictures, they had actual drugs there, but very wrapped up, so no one could really touch them. They had a canine there, and a nice program to see what this canine does, and it was FIGO. Great act for him. And
What is that, FIGO?
FIGO, the dog,
Oh, the dog.
canine,
Okay.
who is also used by other municipalities.
Is it drug sniffer? Is he a drug sniffer? Is that
Everything. He
Yeah.
does a lot of everything, including picking up used in missing children and deaths and everything. It was really an informative meeting. And everyone is always invited to go to these. They always have a nice program. I think, something that was brought up down there, which has to do with everywhere, that the cops did inform me about, was the children up here that are complained about riding the ATVs without licenses, without lights, without helmets, that are unsafe, riding the roads, are being informed to their parents and whoever takes care of them about the fines, what they're going to get, and the latest report, there's going to be a hearing on May 7th that I know one parent has to go to, one complainer has to go to, that witnessed a lot of things. So they are doing their due diligence with all of that. So they are doing their absolute best on all of these. Okay. That's what I wanted to let everyone know. There was a lot brought up about fireworks, but fireworks nowadays, just people put them off because they buy them and they just do it. No matter what ordinances are out there, they just won't stop doing them. They're just gonna do it. Okay.
Okay.
Very informative meeting. Okay.
Let us know if, how the public safety work in Beaver Falls can interface with us and how we could move forward with benefiting with these programs and so on. Okay, you'll be the point person on that?
Good, and they're welcome to come. It's the last Monday of every month except the summer ones.
Okay. Thanks. If you let me know, I'll put that out on the
Okay.
site and the social media and so forth.
Okay.
Okay. Office of Tax Collector, Kathy, do you have anything to announce? Any news?
Nothing new, but anybody who hasn't paid that's sitting around here that wants to pay, I'll be more than happy to take the money.
Okay.
Oh, I still can I can defer mine.
Okay. All right, professional reporting. As I said, our Secretary Treasurer isn't here. So these reports, the financial reports, will be forthcoming here. Public safety, for this meeting, because we usually have the fire chief, a fire department representative and the police representative, Chief Johnson here. We get those reports. Again, I don't have these from our Borough Secretary Treasurer. But is there anything that you would like to share with us?
You want to say this is?
Oh, here we are.
The report that I submitted is the same report that I submit every month. We have 47 incidents documented in our report management system. Nothing
That's his report.
extreme public safety concerns to address other than questions from council. That would be the report. And I believe that I can quickly distribute that to you. That's what I communicate with when I send it out. So.
Yeah.
You guys can share.
Thank you. We do have an issue,
I'll need to put it in. with
some
my
concerns
notes,
around
okay?
this, but
You and Sue.
we're gonna reach out to you and ask you about the reporting, if we could maybe modify this, if it's worthy. We had spoken to our solicitor too about some information, whether it should be public or not. You know, what is the what should we do with some of this like identifying information? So we'll be in touch with you about that, okay? Great, thank you. We have no one from the fire department here?
No, I don't see anybody from the fire department.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, Mr. Solicitor, what's new with you in the legal world?
Well, nothing relevant here. Okay, I'll put it that way. I don't have any reports, sir.
Okay. We did have some conversations, and we'll talk about that as we go through the agenda here. Okay. We don't have anybody from zoning hearing board or the independent auditor. I had some conversations with Chad Agnew recently too there, but nothing to report tonight.
Is there any time you want me to give my report, like
Yes.
on
Yes, we have.
what's going
We
on?
have that.
Where does that?
We actually have a resolution in here that's going to address that.
Okay.
Public safety report. Okay.
Okay.
And that will be really in work session. We have.
I mean, I would think that people that don't come to work session would like to know what's going on with the zoning and ordinances and stuff
Well, when
too.
you provide your written report, and we can publish that, and we have the minutes from the work session, that'll be out there too.
Is that how you want me to do it? Because it used to be, we'd just say what was going on.
Yeah, because those topics are usually a little bit more involved, as opposed to the police and the fire report. And the police and the police chief and the fire police, representatives are here at the business meeting. That's why they're here. Those reports are heard here. But the other reports, I think they're better suited with the work session format, right? Where we can talk about them and stuff like that. Okay. Citizen comments. So Mayor, you have a list?
Oh,
Well, it's just me. Let me
Okay.
just do it.
Just you.
thank you.
We've talked more than one time about stop signs and stop signs not being legal, and are we gonna do anything about that?
So you're,
Take your turn. Go ahead.
so you're recognizing that we have, and right, we have had an issue with stop signs that are not up to code,
Correct.
right? According to what, PennDOT standards, traffic safety standards. So what are we gonna do about
Yeah.
those things?
Or what are you gonna do on Matilda Street before my son kills somebody that's flying through that stop sign and he goes after them? Because he's done it twice this week.
Yeah, is that a stop sign that's not up to code or anything that's too short?
I don't know,
It's
'cause I don't know what
People
code
that
is.
don't want to look at, they just figure they're gonna keep on going.
The Amazon Prime guy came up at 40, 45 miles an hour the other day, never stopped. Kids are starting to ride their bikes. The one little boy spends more time laying on the street picking himself up than he does pedaling his bike. You come up there that fast and you don't see him, you're gonna hit him. And then there is an issue with the rental property up there, but we handled that ourselves.
That's something we should not know about, or we don't wanna know about? That's
We
left unsaid.
took care of that on Monday, so that's changed a little bit this week so far. We'll see how long it lasts.
Okay,
But
thank you.
something has to be done with the stop
Sorry,
signs.
thank you for that. That is something that public safety, that I think, and public works, we should sort of come together on.
Is that stop sign not legal?
I'm told none of them are.
Why?
Well, it's
So-
not none of them, it's just some of them
Well,
are.
fix mine. Fix the two on my
I don't know
street.
that it's not legal
It's
though.
not
Then-
legal, though.
Bob, do you remember a couple of years ago when we had this brought to our attention?
Yeah.
And because that one gentleman was able to beat his
Right.
ticket for violation of the stop sign. I think Chief will remember that too, okay?
And I don't know which ones are legal and which ones aren't legal.
I thought we had, I'm trying to remember now, it's been so long.
A list.
We had, yeah, Mayor's right, we had a list, and that list was to be addressed in some fashion to make all those. I think there were issues about height, things of that nature.
Size of the sign and everything.
I can't remember all the details, Paul, but yeah, we had a heck of a lot.
And reflection and all that.
Well, and I think one was in a barrel and it's not allowed to be in a barrel.
It more contends with what your ordinance is that says that there's a stop sign at this intersection. Just because we put a stop sign up,
Yeah.
unless it's specifically addressed in the ordinance at the stop sign at this
Gotta be
intersection.
right there.
Yeah.
Also, I
We
think
made a
Eli-
list of-
Eli, there were- there were-
Gina made a list of all of them at one time.
When you put the new stop sign in, it must conform to
Right.
all the specs. The stop sign that's been there for 30 years is okay, it had to conform to the specs when it was placed, but the ordinance has to reflect that there's a stop sign there.
Yeah.
That was the issue that we ran into.
You have an ordinance for that.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think we.
We did that.
I think we did that.
But it doesn't.
That's why I'm
mean that
asking you,
they're
but
all
I'm trying to
legal.
remember, I think we did do
That's the
that.
They're
problem.
not all listed in.
Yeah, she listed
No, they're
every,
listed.
she listed every one of
On
them.
the new
Yeah.
ordinance, they're listed. But
Yeah, the old one.
That's what I-
That was when
Okay.
Jeff was on.
so we will kick this matter over to the Public Safety, Public Works, the work session, to see how we can do an assessment, a survey of all of our signage, and see what is within, which conforms, which don't, and then we'll have to address those. I do know, we did drop the ball on some of that stuff last time we went through all this. But yeah, because there were things that didn't get fixed at the time. So we will, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question then? So is it your thought that people aren't stopping at the sign on Matilda Street, whichever one it is, because they don't think it's a legal stop sign, so they just,
No, I
Do
just
it.
think they
even
They
if
just
it's,
don't
bother.
care.
It looks like a race. It looks like a race strip,
so
and they
whether or
just
not
come
the stop
flying.
sign is the right size and in the right place, doesn't matter to them, they just ignore
They're
it.
flying through
Exactly.
like it's not there.
Okay, so then that becomes a.
And there's that T right there. Somebody's gonna come this way and somebody's coming out of that T, or some little kid's gonna come riding his bike and boom, and that's it.
So these would be people that don't stop at stop signs other places either. They
Right.
look, nobody's
This
coming,
is,
they keep
this
going.
has gone,
Right.
I've been there
It's a yield
33
sign.
years. It's never been worse than now.
Yeah, we're hearing that from a lot of citizens, that speeding is crazy, running stop signs is crazy, littering is crazy. There's a lot of stuff that, we should take this up, public safety, we should take this up and sort of figure out what is possible, what we can do, and work with our public safety officials on stuff like that. And that might even mean revisiting our ordinances and the penalties for things like that. Okay? So thank you, Kathy. Any other citizens that want to talk tonight about any issues?
Just West Fourth and West Fifth are the same thing. Like, I live on West Fifth, and like, it doesn't matter, they just drive right on through. We got the quad riders, we got the guys. Now I'm getting a kid on an e-bike, all black, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's just a matter of time before we're gonna scrape him off the street. He ain't stopping at anything, he's just 30 mile an hour.
That's one of them things you gotta talk to the parent about.
Well, and today, before I left, there were two little kids this size, that big kid that usually rides the mini bike down to Sheets, and another kid, all on electric scooters, going up and down 37th Street, and the little girls were wobbling, so I'm afraid they're gonna get hit by a car.
Okay, council, we hear citizens, we hear their issues. It's up to us to sort of come up with a game plan to sort of address this. Now, did you have anything else that you wanted to?
No, I just wanted to chime in on her, cause it's just as bad on my street there.
Okay.
And I'm noticing it more. Like, I leave every day at the same time every day, so when you start running into the same people every day, it's only a matter of time before somebody's gonna get someone. And they're really running the stop signs anymore. I don't understand it. I've been in the borough for almost 30 years now, so I'm familiar with where the stop signs are.
Is this more of a police issue?
This is a police public safety issue, yeah.
What do you do downtown with all these kids riding bicycles and scooters flying up and down?
We manage them on a case-by-case basis. The kids on bicycles, kids don't pay attention to any stop signs, whether that's what they're required to do or not. That's just an issue. A lot of that should fall to parents to manage their children.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we all know that isn't the case all the time. So we can, enforce what we, observe. If you have complaints, as I've always said, call the station and our officers respond up and manage that. As far as the stop signs, yes, I know that was all, the ordinances were readjusted and made to comply with what we had, but the problem was the signs, and we had indicated that we're not gonna enforce anything until the signs are at the specs that they're supposed to be at.
So, and there's only a couple signs.
What are the specs?
It's not all the signs. It's the one at the park, and then the one up the street at the park too, on Patterson that got hit, and then me and Jake just temporarily put it back in the ground. So that we know that's too short, but it's just a matter of a handful of them that actually have to get repaired and
You
replaced.
were beside the park here.
Let's,
Yeah.
I put a new sign
And
in.
when I say that,
Oh,
it doesn't
okay.
mean that we're gonna allow careless or reckless driving. It simply means that we can't enforce the signs in the courts. So,
yeah, this is something that's totally within our capability of addressing and dealing with. We can do that. But we need a game plan. We need an action plan for that, so. Okay, I made a note that we'll add the stop sign survey and identify the issues with the signs to fix. We'll get that on the agenda. Okay.
I can't say, not to interrupt, but I can say that I can't recall any incidents on Matilda that we've had to respond to for motor vehicle crashes or pedestrian and vehicles, et cetera, in any time.
That's just been luck.
Well, I'm just explaining to you that we don't have that, incidents to reflect on for that. Doesn't mean that we can't make a presence there, but we don't have incidents, so. But we'll respond to complaints.
We're fortunate we don't have that. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, let's, if there's no other citizen comments, let's move on to unfinished business here. Under Budget and Finance, we do have a motion that was tabled back January 14th, which was the resolution withdrawing the borough from the GEMS agreement, 2010 GEMS agreement. This is still a work in progress. We are still working on this. My recommendation is that we just continue to table this motion here tonight. Any objections? No. Okay. Under Culture and Recreation, last month, March 11th, we tabled a motion to approve the park shelter rental terms that were updated by our Borough Secretary Treasurer, who also handles the reservations and so forth. The council need a little more time to review the documents, and we've had exposure to those documents, you had the links and so forth. Are we ready to move on this motion to approve these? This is your world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, everybody had a chance to.
Well, your Culture and Rec, Jason. So let me give you the to lead off the discussion of this, if there's any. Do you have anything to say about the motion?
No, I mean, it's a lot clearer. I mean, it's laid out. She has it. I mean, do we have the motion right here in front of us? Like,
Yep.
she has all the links there. Okay, well, not the motion, but I mean. So anyone could see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I should say, I did make a change here because we did refer to the West Mayfield Rec Board, which we do not have. So I replaced Rec Board with Borough, which we do have there. So this is pretty straightforward. We did add an update here to the rental fees.
Are we in line with all the other parks around?
I don't know. I think the
Fee-wise.
real question is, are we in line with what we want, right, for our park? And I, you know, if you've reviewed this, you know, maybe that's our question for this motion tonight. Is this in line, you know, with what we want? Yeah.
Weren't we stuck on the fees just to make sure that like the fees aligned with?
Right here?
Yeah.
No, we talked through this at work session a while back, and I think at the last meeting. In fact, I added a couple of the shelter 2 with the kitchen that wasn't on here. That's why these are in red. I updated these at the meeting. So the question is, this is the motion on the table that we need to deal with under unfinished business. Are you approving of this?
Yeah, I mean, we, like Justin said, we had discussed the biggest thing holding us up was the amount. Because there were a couple other parks that were close at their prices and you had more things that were inclusive.
Okay.
And they were the same price or less.
Sue, how do you feel about this?
I reviewed it and I think it looks good. I don't have anything to compare it to, but I think it certainly looks like it's in good order.
Okay, I think it's appropriate as well. Justin, thoughts on this motion?
Yeah,
This agreement?
as long as like the fees look okay to everybody, I don't really know I don't run a lot of shelters, so I don't know if like we're shooting ourselves in the foot with like $100 per day or $130 per day. I don't know that, me personally. But everything else in that agreement looks good to me.
Bob, your thoughts?
My thoughts is I'm okay with it, and if we find out that the fees, I don't know what the other parks are charging. If we find out the fees are too high, we're not renting it, we adjust the fees.
It seems to me, if I recall, we did have, you guys weighed in, I think you even weighed in,
White Townships.
saying that, I think originally we had a fee that was high, and you said, oh no, that's too much. And I think we did adjust this according to what seemed reasonable with other areas, yeah. Bob,
I'm good with it.
you good with it? John?
I see no problem with it, as long as we're where we need to be with everybody else. I'm fine with those numbers right there.
Okay. Mayor, your thoughts on this agreement?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think they compare it with Big Beaver.
Okay. All right, let's call a question on this, if we've all had our say on this. Jason?
I say aye.
Aye. Sue?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Okay, so this motion passes unanimously.
Jason, you are aware that all of us on council do get a free rental. Did you know that?
No, 1 a year.
Yeah, we've done that for years.
Okay.
So if Sue or any of us, any of us want to use the shelter, we get a free rental.
One of the perks of being,
Yeah.
okay, under old business, public safety, we've had an item, that was tabled back December 10th, and that is the approval of our emergency operations plan. And, we are still working on this. Matter of fact, at the work session, EMC Kasenovich gave us some great information to update our hazard specific plan, Appendix C. So, yeah, we're not quite there. So I recommend that we continue with tabling this and continue to work on this. I'd rather us get this thing done right rather than just getting it done. Right? So I recommend we continue to table this.
I had a question about the parks. Are we doing anything this year down there? I mean, what kind of budget do we have for the parks?
All right, that's a discussion, Bob, that we should have at the work session.
Well, I'm trying to find out if I should get prices to bring to the work session. I mean, summer's gonna come quick and go quick. And if we're gonna do something, I'd like to get something, scheduled.
I mean, like repair, maintenance, and
Yeah.
stuff like that? Yeah.
Like the pickleball court. I got prices on resurfacing and restriping.
Right. At the work session, we actually talked about what should be done down there, not only with the park shelter rental concession, but the park in general. Here's your guy. Why don't you
So I'll just talk to
Jason? Jason with the volunteer group. You will come up with a game plan on that. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. Right? I'm sure everyone else knows, what we could do down there. So let's do that.
Well, one of the things we did discuss, I know it's a little older since he
Sealed.
mentioned it before we go forward with anything, spending a large amount of money, that we talked about getting up-to-date cameras, systems before we put any other large amounts. And anyone that wants to donate, they're not gonna just put that in there and say, oh, it's gonna get tore up, it's gonna get vandalized. And it's gonna happen, because it happened the years we've been here. They had a nice park and a nice playground down there, and it got vandalized and things going on down there. And it's not fair to expect the police just to sit there. And it's not fair expectation to say, hey, you know what, our park's being, kids are gonna come
After
in.
this meeting, we can talk. I have some new information on grants and stuff,
Okay,
so
yes, okay,
I
that's good.
kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, whatever gets worked out, the ideas and the plans, if you all can bring that eventually to, some sort of a proposal to the table that we can vote on, that would be great. Okay. Public Works, what we tabled last month was a motion to purchase a portable cold water pressure washer. This was specifically it was a Hot Sea HD 3.25 for $2,956. Council requested additional options, right, different choices. And so what Brian did was, he did come up with two other options. One was a North Star 3000 PSI power washer and a can pump Electrojet CR 4000. the North Star was $1,599, and the can pump was $1,225, half of the original hot seat price, right? And so, Brian, let me just take a point of privilege here and give the floor to you. We talked about the North Star here, and the appropriateness of it. And would you like to talk a little bit about that? Because that may be, from what we've talked,
I mean, it's actually got more pressure than the hot seat. I wasn't sure of what the warranty was on it.
10 years.
You read that on it. I think it'd be fine.
So you're
Yeah, that one was so expensive because he's a salesman.
It was expensive, yeah, really. So your recommendation is this.
Yeah.
The North Star Electric cold water for $15.99. So I'd like to go ahead.
Usually anything that's like a 230 volt electric, it's gonna handle it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like to, if it's okay, if you all agree, to modify this motion to replace the hot seat with the North Star and for $15.99, give or take. So that would be the motion on the table, right? To purchase. Let me come back to purchase the North Star pressure washer in the amount of $15.99.
Where's that coming from?
That'd be from the North Star place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll have to get the borough's tax exempt number probably for them.
Okay, I'm not sure how they do that.
Yeah, like any purchase.
You have to ask them.
Yeah.
They'll probably send out a form.
You can work with Jenna on that, okay?
Okay.
But our motion on the table is to approve this purchase here tonight for this purchase amount. Justin, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I just wish I knew what our budget was for tools. If it's in there, I'm good with it. I don't know what that is right this second.
Yes, and that, by the way, everybody, what Justin and I are working on is up-to-date responsive reporting, what's called budget to actuals. So that when these questions come up, we will be able to look at our financial software and see what we have budgeted for tools and what we've spent on tools and to see what our margin is there, right? I believe we have not spent anything on tools this year.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, so I would say we're relatively
I
safe, so we're at a
think we're okay.
disadvantage.
Yeah, I think we're okay at that price point, and I don't want him to use his personal thing. So if we have to move it from something else, then we'll figure that out.
Okay, good. Bob, your thoughts?
Do you see anything else that we're gonna be needing before we spend $1,600 on a pressure washer? Do you foresee anything else in tool wise that we're gonna need this year that might be more important than a pressure washer?
And we're
Depending
gonna use
on
that
our-
at the park too. Like,
Yeah, I'm
is that-
sorry, Bob, we're gonna stick to this motion.
This is part of the motion.
No, it's not part of the motion. This motion is for the pressure washer purchase. We're gonna stick.
Fine then.
Okay, good. Bob Cog?
I'm good.
John?
I'm good also.
Jason? Thoughts on
To
this?
change it, I mean,
Your thoughts on this motion to purchase?
we definitely need, but we also need to think about how much we talked about getting other things, as if it fits in the budget.
You're talking about the generator, that doesn't fall under tools, right?
No, that's
Or
building.
the hot patch or hot box, so we're also talking about getting those that go under tools.
Right, right. I mean, I'm saying, these are good things. The other things we need, we can bring these to the table. They have not been brought to the table tonight. We've not advertised them as part of the agenda tonight. So we're going to stick to the agenda, and this is our motion on the table right now. So my question for you is, your thoughts on this motion?
Well, this motion, like I said, for me to vote yes on, I mean, it also can contingent on like other things that we've discussed before we go through. I agree with Justin. Brian, you shouldn't have to use your own personal equipment, but at the same time, I agree with Bob in the sense that we need to think what else do we need to get before we go and spend this large amount of money.
Before we blow the budget.
Sue?
Well, I think if we buy one, this is certainly the best buy. Comparatively speaking, it's half the price of the other one that we considered, but I don't know.
Okay, based on our conversations, I think this is appropriate. So let's go ahead and call the question. Justin, how do you vote on this motion?
Just one last question is, you can use that at the park, like we have full capability of putting a generator out there and using it and all that stuff, right? Okay. I'm for it.
Bob?
Yes. Same.
Jason?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. I'm for it as well. So this motion passes without objection. Okay. So that takes care of our old business. We're going to move on to our new business here. So we have a resolution adopting the Borough of West Mayfield Municipal Fraud Risk Management Policy, which is something, this is the resolution here, which is, we talked about this at the work session, recommendation from our independent auditor. We worked up a draft of this, as this motion says, the draft that we presented to Chad Agnew conforms with the what is this group? Auditing Standards Board of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, and also approved by our independent auditor. So the motion on the table here is to adopt the fraud risk management policy. So, just your thoughts?
Yeah, I had notes on there, and I read your notes about it. There's like wording on there to me that's very broad compared to what we actually can do. For instance, is just like the requiring the days off for the secretary, or specifically, and having someone else do that job. Like that's kind of a lift, right? To put that in there. So it's like, do we need something that drastic when we have that person, just only one person doing it because we're so small? Like in like maybe Beaver Falls or something where they're larger, they can have that ability to do that. So those were kind of my notes on that. And I think you said that it could be part of a policy, but this is kind of that policy too. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So everything looks good. It's just those details on it, if that makes sense.
And like any policy, they should be flexible enough that if we need to change them, amend them, because things change, standards change, our needs change. So we do have that flexibility to change any time in the future. This is an establishing policy here, establishing resolution, I should say, that puts in place a fraud management policy where none exists right now.
Correct, yeah. And
resolution.
And I'm for that.
Okay. Bob, your thoughts?
I'm okay with it.
By the way, I just want to say, this is the table of contents here. So I'd never heard of this before. But when you look at this thing, it's like, oh yeah, this is one of those CYA things for the borough here. If there is fraud, everyone is obligated to report it. We're obligated to do something about it when we discover it. Yada yada. That's what this does. But you can see that in the table of contents. Kai, what do you think about this resolution?
I'm good with it.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This isn't something we're hiring somebody to do or anything. It's just okay.
Policy we're going to put in place.
That's what I thought.
John?
I agree with it. Okay.
Later? Jason?
Me too. I think protective aspect of it is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Fraud's everywhere.
Yeah. I do want to say that this does fit into the broader area of financial controls, right? That what we have not really had in the borough And now we're recognizing that, and we're doing something about it by putting this policy in place as well as others. We have another resolution tonight that addresses another fiscal or another financial control issue too. So yeah, this is much needed. Let's call a question. If everyone had a chance to speak on this resolution motion, Justin, how do you vote?
Yeah, I'm for it.
Okay, Bob,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Yes.
Sue. Okay, I vote in favor of the resolution too. So it passes without objection. Okay. So then the next, the next item here is a resolution that establishes council's procedure over financial auditing, reporting, and review. We talked about this at the work session, and how, every year we get, by law, we get a municipal audit done by an independent auditor, and we pay for this, and we never hear about it. We never hear about it, council's never discussed it, it's never been publicly reviewed on the record.
So we just figured everything's good.
We just figured everything's good, I reckon. Well, when
No
we,
news is good news.
starting in '24, when we started to look at the information that came with these audits from the independent auditor, we realized, oh, everything's not good. We have some serious problems with our financial controls in the borough here. And the auditors pointed this stuff out. We've never
To the wrong person?
Pardon?
They pointed it out to the wrong
It
person.
it's literally just a paragraph on the bottom of the report, or on the cover page of the report.
Oh, no, it's several pages
The
of pointing out.
the last one, I'm thinking of the last one that we got last year. But because I read the last year report, and it's like a cover page, and it's like, these are the things that should be addressed.
Yeah, if you look at the previous year, there's like several pages.
Okay.
And so I've had a discussion with Chad Agnew about this stuff, and he says, oh yeah, these are our recommendations, these are our standards for municipal financial accounting, handling, and we should do something about it. So we are doing something about it, right? This is one of the things that we're doing here, is that we're going to, this policy is going, it basically says here, let me just cut to the chase here. It says that the Secretary Treasurer shall report to council within 30 days after receiving municipal audits and associated financial reports from the independent auditor. At a public meeting, council shall acknowledge and review the complete independent auditor's municipal annual audit and financial report, including the auditor's observations pertaining to material weaknesses and significant deficiencies, and the auditor's recommendations to address known issues. Those are the things that the auditors have been pointing out to us for years. And we've never even acknowledged it, we've never discussed that, let alone scratched our heads like, well, how do we do something about this? Public access, the auditor's the audit and financial reports shall be kept and made available to the public in accordance with state statutes and the borough's municipal records policy. These reports, annual audit reports, will be published to the website, and a concise financial statement will be published. This is consistent, required by the borough code. After an audit is done, we have to publish what's called a concise financial statement. And so I talked to Chad Agnew and I said, hey Chad, who does that? Because it says that the auditors do that. And I said, you do that and we do that? And he says, no, you do that. I says, we do? Well, I can't find any record that we've been doing that. I mean, some years ago, there was a public notice that we published a concise statement in the Beaver County Times. But we haven't done it for a long time, so we haven't been, conforming to this requirement from the borough code. So I said, Chad, if you send us the information that conforms to this form right here, which by the way is a recommendation from the Pennsylvania State Association of Boroughs. It's a small little note. This is all it is. It's just this, right? Chad will give us the information that conforms to this, and we will publish it, right? And this says that we will publish it
Within 30 days, within 30
wi-
days.
within 30 days, right, of receiving the report. So that's what this resolution does. It says, we will now handle in the future our municipal auditing openly, publicly, with transparency. It'll be available to citizens, and we also will conform to the borough code from moving forward by publishing our concise financial statement. Justin, your thoughts on this resolution?
I'm all for it. I think I started kind of that process a little bit with all those policies initially. So,
Yes, absolutely. You're to blame for all this.
probably, yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll thank you someday. Okay. Bob, your thoughts on this resolution?
I'm good with it.
Okay.
I am too.
Mayor?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
When you say published, does it go in the newspaper?
Yes.
The
it has
concise
to.
financial statement does get published in this.
So how much does that run?
Who reads the
That's a
newspaper?
standard little, whatever the cost is. We have to do
Yeah.
it. We have to do it.
Okay.
But whatever it costs, I reckon. Okay,
Yes.
good, okay. All right, I'm certainly in favor of this, much needed. Okay, let's call the question on this, if we've all spoken on this motion for the resolution. Justin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes, Bob?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
John, Jason?
Yes.
Okay, I vote in favor as well, so this passes without objection. Okay. This next item here comes out, this is a motion, this comes out of the, a discussion that we had at the work session about monies that were raised by the car cruise activity and how that money should be handled. And what we know, looking back at our financial records, that in 24 and 25, there was a total of $3,047 that was raised and donated to the borough for the, ostensibly, the purposes of the community park, benefiting the community park. And so the question came up at the meeting was, how do we know this to be so? Because our meeting minutes do not reflect any sort of real concrete plan around that. So I suggested that let's go ahead and make a motion. If the money was raised for this purpose and it was donated to the borough for that purpose, earmarked, in other words, let's go ahead and make a motion to that effect, and recognizing that, and also moving forward. And the assumption was that the car cruise will continue in the future, monies raised will be for this purpose. Let's modify our budget to have a line item, 36716, for the annual car cruise, so any monies donated as revenue will be accounted for in that line. And then a corresponding expenditure line, 457.02, annual car cruise, will hold monies that then can be used for recreation, culture and recreation activities to benefit the park, right? So now we would all be above board, we would all have this laid out, it would be explicit here. So that's what this motion does. Does anyone want me to read this? Or can you see it?
I've read it.
Okay, read it. Okay. So what this would really mean in a practical sense is that Culture and Rec, now you will have $3,000, which is in our budget. It was just thrown in there, that general budget. But now you will have $3,000 for your purposes, consistent with the intention of the monies raised by the car cruise event for park stuff. Okay, that's what essentially this would mean. And then we will take care of the accounting moving forward with the budget. Okay.
It would be at their discretion to do what they wanna do with that money, correct? That's how it go, right?
As it
Well, ours
stands,
is under
yeah.
Park and Rec, as long as it's for the park. The only word I had is like donated to the borough. I mean, it was more allocated to be held by the borough. I think that's one of the stipulations that was presented.
Yeah, we're not a bank. We're not a bank, so
Well, no,
we're not gonna hold any money.
No.
But if you give us money right, and it goes into our treasury, we're gonna account for that, right?
Earmark.
And we'll account for this appropriately, and that's what this motion does.
As long as it's, okay.
It would be earmarked for recreational down there in the park or whatever.
Which is totally legit, totally legit. And I think everyone agrees that this is a good cause and it's worthwhile. We just need to up our game with the accounting here around this issue. Okay. So, Jason, I'm gonna let you go ahead. Is there anything else you want to say about this motion?
No, that was the biggest point, I think, with the amount of money, as long as that money's going to the benefit of the park, all the culture rec around the park and the people involved with the car crews agree, come forth and how do you feel? I mean, ask the question, how do you feel on this? 3 people how do you feel?
There's a purpose for it, but,
I mean, does this?
You started
sound-
this,
yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm asking before I go forth. I mean, that's one of the things too, that I think this sounds pretty good, that it's earmarked now for the car crews. Do you think that's fair, the way it's worded, or how?
yeah, I don't know, I'm just kinda confused with it. It's like, who judges where the money goes and all that stuff?
But it'd be just for the park, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just for the park,
Yes.
yeah.
Do you
Yeah, as long as it's just to do improvements, playground equipment, those kinds of things for the park, not for travel
Hatching.
supplies,
Yeah.
for the restrooms or the kitchen or whatever.
That should come out of the park rental money, right?
Yeah.
For,
Or that's
that
in
kind of stuff.
budgeting actual, maintenance issues.
That's where I'm kinda confused at, as far as
It's improvements
the
of the park,
maintenance of the
actually.
park,
It's
that
different
ain't
than,
part of that.
no.
No, it should not,
No.
it should not be,
Right.
correct.
Like we want Jubilee Shelter, that piece of equipment down there is all falling apart. We were thinking maybe getting a slide or something, for
That'd
the
be
kids,
fine, yeah.
something like that.
As far as that thing, it should be kinda like us, a committee, if something's to be purchased for the park from that money.
Yep. Well,
It
and
should
if
be
you
okay
decide to talk to
by,
me, and please,
Yeah.
we'll definitely do it, because I've been looking into
it
this.
should be okay by you
Yes.
and
There you go.
us, you know?
And we'll definitely, because I've been looking into this. and
So
that's-
this is an accounting side, I think is what the motion is, right?
Yes.
And so I
Just to make
think
sure we're covered.
next work session, we bring a motion together of a policy to have the funds being approved to use by some kind of committee. If that is the conversation, then there's no
Okay.
question about it.
That's what this does, culture and rec. It's
Well, all this is basically, this motion from what I'm reading here, that motion is only separating those funds. It's not specifically explaining who's approving the expenditures of those funds, right? Because basically, if they put it, if Brian had an annual car cruise and he wanted to spend $3,000 on it, is that acceptable? Who's approving that, right? So that would be the second step of that, is to make sure that if you want a slide, that slide is being approved to be taken out of those funds.
Yes.
these line items, by the way, they're under the heading of culture and recreation in the budget,
Correct.
which would be under.
I
Jason's
agree 100% on that, but what he's getting at is if they want a slide and they're like, yeah, the slide should come out of those funds. Like if he wants cameras and they're like, no, we don't want cameras to come out of that fund, who's approving that, right? So if we're separating it for this specific thing, I think there needs to be a policy of a committee that's responsible for approving those costs. If we're doing that.
You gonna write that up?
I can,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
I've got a question.
okay.
First of all, what kind of money, what's our budget at the park for, what did we budget last year for the park this year? And that I wanna know why, because
I'm just saying, if you're separating these things, there's, why are we separating it if there's not gonna be a different approval policy or process on it? Because if it's park money, it's park money.
Yeah, but park money is, well, I'll show you here.
I agree that this money should only benefit, whatever it was donated for.
So under culture and recreation, right? Where are we here? There we go. So this is under culture and rec right here, right? So these are the various ways that we decided to spend money on culture and rec activities. Park rec supplies, operational expenses, electric utility bills, garbage, refuse removal, right down the line. And see, we have car crews there. We said that the borough will provide $400 to the car cruise activity.
But you're saying to take 3,047 out of the 10,000 on line 454
No,
and
no,
create a new budget?
No, that $3,000 isn't even factored in here. It just wasn't. We didn't even really understand. I mean, in the monthly financial report, there was accounting for 1 year. Kathy told me what was raised the next year. Kathy just told me that. So that's our sort of good faith that, okay, this was, and I believe that it was, we could find in the reports it was done, but it was thrown into the general fund, right? Next year, we will add, the revenue, and then that will be corresponding down here. So that money will be available here under this 45702, right? That's in the motion. 45702, monies to be used for that purpose. I didn't know how to word that other than, I wanted to keep the car cruise stuff with the car cruise stuff.
Mhm.
From the revenue side to the expenditure side, right? With this understanding that it comes about in a certain way and it goes out in a certain way, right?
Okay, but I think what Justin's asking, I maybe I'm repeating the same question, but I'm not clear on the answer, is where in that budget there is the $3,047?
That's what I'm saying.
Where's it represented?
What's the total for the parks? Is it the 13,375?
For culture and rec.
That's what we have in the budget. So you took the money that came from the car cruises to add to the.
Nothing, it's just sitting in general fund right now.
It is in the general fund?
So then we basically have 13,000 plus the car cruise money, correct?
If you look here, this is the revenue side of culture and rec. There's no
That's what I was getting
there's no line item for car cruise. There will be.
Because
in
you
the
can't
future.
budget, you can't make the budget thinking, well, we're gonna make $3,000 this year, and then there's no car cruise. If I say, if this year comes along, we're doing a budget, and you say, well, we'll figure $3,000, we'll add $3,000 in for the car cruise, well, we don't have a car cruise then.
No, the money only comes from what we make.
That's what's raised from the car cruise,
Okay.
not
I just wanna make sure, I'm just trying to figure out where it's coming.
In the 27 budget, there will be a line item right here, and it will be 36716. It'll be right here after this. It'll be 36716. Any revenues, that $3,000, whatever, if it's not taken out, whatever the balance is, will be here, available, and then that will correspond back to the expenditure side, so we know that that's the amount that we could take out for the purposes of benefiting the park.
Okay.
Or stuff like that.
But what I basically was getting at earlier was, what kind of money can we spend at the park on fixing things up? Like not maintenance, but more like what can we add to recreation? People coming down and, swing set, sliding board, pickleball court. How much money do we have? Because I want to go get prices I got a price on seal coating and striping, but I don't want to waste these guys' time either. I don't want to call all these places and make them waste their time coming down measuring if the money's not there. Trying to figure out what kind of money we can spend.
Well, under car cruise, if what you're talking about fits that purpose and everyone agrees it fits that purpose, then you'll be able to withdraw whatever is in the line item here.
I'm not talking about car cruise money. I'm talking about money that's in the budget plus car cruise. It's all, you know what I mean?
Well, look at the line items. If you think we need to add a line item for pickleball courts, then we'll do that. If it can fit into one of these larger.
But I'm just saying, take out the utility, the electric, take out the garbage, take out the water. What's left for the park that we could say, hey, we can we can do this for upgrades.
Well, I think that's a good question as we do the 27 budget. If we want to put a line item in there that accounts for those needs, then we could do that. And it could answer that question, how much do we have for X, Y, Z, right? This is what we said for 26, how much we're going to devote to these purposes here, right? I mean, we can add stuff to this. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We can add
Yeah.
stuff that is appropriate.
Because the season's coming. It's gonna be here before, I mean, we were playing pickleball the other night, and it's a horrible court. We had it sealed, we had it striped, but they took all the good stuff out of the tar. There's no tar in it anymore. It's all water-based stuff, and it all flaked off. And, you know, we could put another Band-Aid on it for another year or two, but it really needs stretched 5 feet towards the creek. And I could get a price for tearing down the fence, adding 5 feet, and then covering the whole thing. But I don't know, I don't wanna waste their time if we don't have the money to put into it.
Well, this is the question, as we proceed through this year, and this is what it goes back to our, why we need to have a budget to actuals report to see where we are with our budgeting. When a need comes up, we need to be able to turn to our budget and say, do we have a line item for this? And if we do, what is the amount? Does that amount fit within that, right? Or are we gonna be over it, right? We need to ask those questions. If we don't have a line item for that, then we have to make a decision. Well, if this is worthy enough, do we pull from our general fund, the unaccounted for money in the general pot, right, for this purpose? We'll make an accounting for that. If the next budget, if we need to put a line item that is for that purpose, that's how we solve that moving forward.
Yeah, I think we need something like that, because you don't wanna take all the budget that we have and start putting it into like the electrical and the plumbing and the water and all that stuff. We need to know what we can spend down there.
This budget, this 26 budget, previous budgets did not have anything for the veterans memorials and banners, although we've been spending money for that purpose. It did not have anything for the car crews, although, we gave money to the car crews. We didn't have a budget line item for that. We didn't have a line item for the holiday.
We never got money for
We
it.
never
Yeah, I
got
didn't
money
know we
for that.
donated
Never.
anything.
Oh, we didn't?
They never.
No,
Okay, so
no,
this
we
is-
bought stuff personally, and
Okay,
then
so
he
this,
got-
so this is the first year we did. Okay, so we did add the $400. Fire truck Santa for candy, right? So I wanted to say, look, if we're spending this money under culture recreation, let's know what the heck we're spending the money on. Let's categorize it, put it in the budget, so we can track it, we know where we are, we can adjust it up, down, whatever our needs are in the future.
Can we separate culture from recreation?
We should not separate culture and recreation, because, and I'll tell you why, this is how it's categorized in the state recommendations for budget purposes.
Cause I didn't realize that like the fire truck Santa and all that stuff, annual holiday party, did we get money for that?
No.
We haven't, in the past,
I think we got it the first year and gave it back, didn't we?
Yeah, that's exactly what we
Yep,
did.
never asked for it again.
Well, the borough, in the past, the borough has donated money to a holiday party.
That
did
was
when the fire
while they were doing it at the fire department.
Yeah, it was in
And
the
they
past.
stopped that when
Well, I mean,
COVID hit.
the rec board, they got money from the fire department. It's in the public records, right? This accounts for it with a line item. That was the purpose of making these line items, to account for all these different purposes that are worthy enough to keep track of, right? Because before, we were just spending money for these purposes and not even keeping track of this stuff. So we had no idea, really, unless you did the deep dive keyword searching, how much did we spend over the years on the holiday party? How much did we spend on the candy, right? So to me, this is responsible municipal accounting. It can be adjusted, it can be, conform to whatever our needs are here. This motion on the table, let's get back to the motion on the table here, is responsive to this particular issue with the car crews. Monies that is raised for the car crews for a purpose to benefit our park. How are we gonna track that? How are we gonna handle that in the future with our budget? That's what this motion does here.
I have a question. Nora, said you spent money, but you got reimbursed.
Yeah, what we did,
What did you,
we bought
where
the food, we bought everything we
right, where did
needed.
you get reimbursed from? Do you-
Well, once we totaled up what we made,
Uh-huh.
we sat down there, turned in our receipts, got the money, and what was left went to council.
Okay, so you reimbursed yourself out of the money that came in from the
Yeah,
car cruise, okay.
Yeah, we didn't get a penny from anybody.
So right here, so in '24, we had 1638 that was given to the borough for the car cruise. That's documented in the monthly financial report, September '24. And Kathy tells us that 1,407 was provided to the borough in '25. And so you had those two numbers there up together, that's the 3,045 there.
So you put money in for the Christmas party. That's this year's budget, right?
Yep.
We haven't been doing that though. We've been doing the Christmas parties out of the fund that
But we can't.
that we have.
Okay, I
We
mean,
don't need to have that in there, do
You
we?
don't have to spend it.
You don't have to spend it, but if you want $400
That could
for
go to
candy,
the park.
then you take candy.
Yeah, so after the end of the year, when we look at our budget, what did we spend, what we didn't spend, if we see that we didn't spend anything on the holiday party,
Then that can go back.
we
Okay.
might say, well, let's not do that anymore, let's put that money elsewhere in a different line item.
Can this motion just be added that the expenditures have to be approved by the annual car cruise committee? Right?
That's a good idea.
And then
Let-
we just
get their
elect
input.
Brian, Nora, and Kathy as that committee, and then that's the motion.
There is no car cruise,
And Nora.
there is no car cruise committee.
I'm saying let's create one, you know what I mean?
You want this motion to create a car cruise committee?
For this purpose, for this line item, and then that takes away this whole discussion, and then we'll move that amount of money to the general fund, or from the general fund for that, since it was donated already, right?
Yeah, I think Brian should have a say in it.
Yeah. Because then that takes all question
I'm for
about,
that.
Yep,
Yeah, because you're the one that
Jason.
you're the one that does all the work
I
for
agree,
it.
you guys need to.
like, if Jason says, hey,
Me and Michelle.
we need
They do
slides.
cooking.
I mean, we don't need a huge committee, just like, if Jason says, hey, I want a slide down there, and you guys are like, yeah, take it out of those funds, great. And then,
Or if they come and present to me and say, hey, we wanna get a slide,
sure,
we're paying, we get this, we want it here, is it okay we get it done here?
then that passes everything in, right?
Okay, so let me, tell me if this works. This. Go back here. Sorry. If we add right here, annual revenue received in car cruise shall be made available to the car cruise committee for the purposes of culture and rec activities. Does that suffice? Monies shall be made available to the car.
I think it's just approval from that line item, right? Like, they just have to, if we're taking money out of that line item, they just have to approve it. So, whatever that wording needs to be.
Subject to the approval of the car cruise?
Yeah.
When you say committee, you gonna say committee of 3 people? Right now, we have 3, the 3 that basically run the car.
and
cruise
Michelle,
plan.
his wife.
Michelle, 5,
Four
okay,
of my
4.
wife, yeah.
But, and then have an odd number that if it's tied, that you guys don't agree on something, then the person culture.
That'd be you.
Would be me, I'm just saying, the reason why, because right now, we're in agreement in this.
Yeah.
But in 5 years, you have a different board and different people say, nah, and you guys say, you know, I'm gonna step away and let somebody else go in it, I don't wanna do it, and 3 people wanna run it, well, do you know what I'm saying, what number are you gonna have in your group? Does that make sense? I just want your money protected too, and then us protected.
So the amendment here to this is, it would read, annual revenue listed in lines 36716, annual car cruise shall be made available, shall be subject to the approval of the car cruise committee. Like, that the revenues in that line shall be subject to the approval of the car cruise committee.
That sounds good.
That sound right?
Yes.
For the purposes of culture and rec activities.
Sure.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so now when we create this committee, like you were saying, so that it can move on, right? There should be probably 3 people on that committee that if one leaves, another person gets added, right?
That's right.
Right?
Right. If it's, yeah.
So, say you want nothing to do with it anymore, that money is still there for the purpose of Parks and Recs, right? So,
Where were we on the round of discussion? Where did we start? We stopped with you.
that always comes back
So
to
we
me.
amended.
Yeah.
Worry about you.
Okay. So, and true parliamentary fashion, let's take up the amendment. Let's approve the amendment. Bob, do you approve this?
Yes. Yes.
Chase, Mayor, how do you feel about it?
Good, it's
Okay.
good.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, appropriate, okay. Bob, do you want to say anything about this? Because I think we haven't gotten back to you yet.
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we got it all hammered out.
Okay, I think we went around the horn. Okay, let's call the question. How do you vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, this motion passes as amended. I can't read my chicken scratch, I'm gonna call you up.
That's fine.
Okay, all right, good. You guys satisfied?
Great.
All right. The next here, number 4 here, this motion, we talked about this at the work session, and I've also posted this in the Council Monday memos. We have a serious problem coming up with our Water and Sewage Enterprise Fund. We're tracking for it to become insolvent at some point in the near future, I should say, according to the data. So what this motion here does is creates a task force to address the issues with the Water and Sewage Enterprise Fund. Now, you may be thinking, oh, here we go, another committee. This is such a serious issue. One, we need to get a handle on where this enterprise fund stands and the financial data, and we need to then pivot towards what can we do about it. And if you've seen what I've written in the council memos, you'll see that this could be complicated. And there are alternatives on how we can structure the rates that our citizens pay for water and sewage. I don't know what this looks like, but I know there are lots of variations for this. So let's get this going, because we need to get this going. At some point, I'm thinking that in 2027, what may be in order is a rate increase for water and sewage. My estimates are we're 30% behind inflationary curve. What we pay rates here are way below what other communities pay, and we're going insolvent in this fund. So we have to do something. Whether that means we hit everybody with a 30% rate increase, or in 1 year, or that means we spread it out over 3 years, 5 years. What does that look like? How much do we raise the bulk, the base amount versus the usage amount? Do we put the onus on the usage amount? In other words, we make that a higher, steeper cost, and we lower or keep consistent the base amount? I don't know, there are lots of variables here. So what this motion does, it basically says, come on, let's get on with it. Let's create a task force. Let's open this up to citizens. Kathy, I want you to be on this, right? We will be on this, and let's figure this out, what we're going to do, because we have to do something about this, right? So that's the motion on the table, is to create a task force to address this issue. Justin, your thoughts?
Yep, I concur. So I'm good with all that.
I think that's a good idea, but I don't think you should hit them up with 30% one shot.
No, I don't either, but we need to put all the options on the table and figure that out. Yeah, don't assume that we're gonna do that.
No, I know, I'm just saying.
That had to be brought
Give my opinion.
I'm sorry, I'm fine. Yep.
Hey, Mary, your thoughts? Gonna be on it? You gonna be on it? Sit on this task force?
Yeah, I'll sit on it, but I think we should do investigations of what other municipalities and boroughs are doing and what they're paying.
Right, that's.
Absolutely.
I did a deep dive in a lot of this research already, in
Okay.
Patterson Township, in particular. It's interesting, eye-opening.
Same with Cockle, I mean, you mentioned, I know people in Cockle, their prices are about the same. As ours
Your
now.
thought, your
That's what I'm
thoughts
saying.
on this
Like,
motion?
on the motion, yeah, that's the task force and comparing.
Sue?
Yes.
And your sister is willing, and your husband willing?
Yeah,
Right.
they said so, I will see.
Okay, we'll put a noose
Push
around
them
them.
to it, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, let's call the question on this and let's get on with this. Let's just try to make this happen. This is not gonna be an overnight thing, of course, nor should it be. Okay. Justin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes, Bob?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the motion to create a task force passes. Now it's up to us to make it happen. That's where the rubber meets the road, I guess. Okay, the next item here is a motion directing council to create and propose a settlement offer to Eastvale Borough regarding the equitable distribution of GEM's financial and material assets no later than May 1st, 2026. Joe, we had spoken on the phone about how what this might look like. A proposal for distributing these assets here. What this motion does is basically it puts us, council, in the direction of saying we want to put some sort of settlement proposal to Eastvale where we distribute these assets that we have. And we just got the inventory, so we know a little bit better of what assets we're dealing with, material-wise and financially. So we're actually poised now to be able to create a motion. Joe, do you want to speak to this a little bit?
Well, yeah, as I think I spoke, not last month, month before, it's a little vague in that whole thing there about where the money actually goes to, but I would think one way towards maybe getting a resolution, because the only other participant right now is Eastvale, Beaver Falls not being in it anymore, that if there could be a specific proposal as to money, as to equipment, and again, I don't know how I'm their solicitor too, but I don't know how they'll vote or consider it. But if you get it to them, at least they can consider it then. So it's a starting point.
Yeah, starting point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what this motion is. This motion is a starting point. It expresses our will to make that offer to Eastvale Borough.
So you have to have something from like your work session. Get it to me, I'll get it to them.
What would your advice be to Eastvale on this? If we
As their solicitor.
as their solicitor.
Set it up for the conflict of interest here. If that comes to pass, I'll have to deal with it. Well, the one thing I know, the only thing I really know for sure, they don't have any plans to change their relationship with this emergency management coordination. So they'll want to continue in it in whatever fashion. Okay. I would say to them, it depends so much on what's also being offered there, or I shouldn't say offered, proposed for that. My advice would be tell them to consider it seriously, and because I know they don't want to change. They don't want to change the provider at this time. So, and that would be a way for them to do that.
And we have enough of the financial research here around who contributed what to what degree that that's a good starting point. For example, West Mayfield Borough has provided more membership dues than Eastville has. We have been paying for the insurance on that trailer and the material out of our taxpayers' general fund, not the emergency management fund. So we have more skin in the game on this. And that's why the language there, Joe, this is, the legal stuff. Equitable distribution does not mean 50-50, right?
No.
It just means what is equitable in terms of.
Well, that's an old term used in divorce law.
We're divorcing.
50-50 necessarily.
Using the word provider, though, it assumes that if someone withdraws from that, the same thing happens when Beaver Falls withdrew. So that's,
Well, Beaver Falls has been gone.
I understand, but they walked away from everything because they withdrew. So that's, by saying provider, they like Eastville wouldn't want to change a provider. That means that it wouldn't actually dissolve that GEMS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think they would. I think they would anticipate they're gonna continue on with their service. So,
Okay. So, you have anything to say on this motion?
That's the issue, right? We can propose a separation of funds, not and us withdrawing from GEMS, right?
well, that's the other thing. Are you going to withdraw? Because, I mean, like I said, I know. I mean, I haven't missed a meeting for their. They've never had any discussions about not using GEMS. Okay. I don't know about you folks. Okay. I mean, because that's something you got to consider too.
I just don't know what that means.
Well, we have a motion sitting that's tabled to withdraw.
Right.
Right?
True.
And,
Yeah.
and so in a sense, if this is a de facto, takes the oath out of that, of our participation. So if we withdraw our assets by default, we are out of GEMS.
Correct, but are those assets ours?
That's what we're proposing to take.
Take
Our
our
share.
assets,
Yeah.
our
The
assets
weather.
out.
Yeah.
And then withdraw.
I would check too. I don't know why I thought, and maybe I could be wrong about this. Okay, that the insurance payment. I heard Pat when she was secretary say that was paid from the GEMS fund for the insurance. I could be wrong about that. Okay.
There's no evidence to that
Okay.
at all, and all the financial research they've done, and I've documented meeting minutes back to 2008.
Well, I gotta say, just as long as somebody looks at it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Please.
I got a lot of that mapped out, including all the expenditures and they did come out, those expenditures did come out of the GEMS fund for radios, computers and things like that. That's all documented.
Okay.
Yeah, to propose a settlement of fund and equipment distribution, sure, I'm for that.
That's all we're doing, is just making a proposal, we can make, I'd say yes, make a proposal.
Yes.
There, your thoughts?
My thoughts are complete confusion, because that's what it is. It's that's what it is. I'm not agreement or disagreement, I just think it's a big pig roast. With no gravy. Jason?
I agree on the proposal to it, but not an absolution, leave it right now.
It's just a proposal.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Gotta start somewhere.
I'll admit, it is complicated. But we find ourselves in a position where we're dealing with an entity, an agreement that we are party to that has been adrift for many, many years. And so we need to do something about it. So this motion is the step to do that.
Are we the only ones paying?
No, I don't think anybody's paid.
No,
Nobody has paid since 2016.
Everybody pays
Any
Eli?
membership. No, we are paying Eli's salary out of our general fund.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but this
Nobody else pays that, it's just us paying.
for his salary as our
Right.
representative coordinator.
Yeah.
Separate from GEMS.
Yeah, so that's not right to start with, so.
Okay, let's call a question
Well,
on.
before
Yeah.
I do have one question to ask, we can just amend the date, because our work session meeting is the 6th, and then the 13th, we vote on. That maybe, oh, this is actually the motion, okay, yeah, so, okay, fine.
Yeah, I wanted to have this before.
Before, okay, our work
Their
session.
meeting is the first Monday of the month.
Okay,
Just so
but
you know.
once we create this, then we'll vote on the actual submission, right? We can do
Yeah.
that, okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have this written up, we all can review it and see where we stand. I'll have all those financials in there.
Well, then can we say by the 6th of May? That way it's our work session date. It's a specific date. It has to be that day, not the 1st.
If we want to get it to them before
Our work session.
their
Or their
meeting.
meeting.
Or your meeting. Oh, okay.
I don't know when the first Monday is.
Oh, then you would want it
May
First, yeah.
I mean, it depends how big a hurry you guys are in. I mean,
First
I don't-
Monday is the fourth.
Yeah, I mean,
Fourth.
I don't think it's a huge.
No, then it would be the first, no, leave it at first.
Okay.
Leave it going, yeah.
Okay, all right. So if we have nothing else to discuss, let's go ahead and call the question. Justin,
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
I vote yes, so the motion passes. We will get down to the hard work of making this happen. All right, culture and rec here. We had talked a long time ago about the need for community park rules. I think this came up back in the Centennial.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be nice to have signage there. We talked about this at the work session. Joe and I had a conversation about rules and how we would enforce those rules, codify and enforce those rules. And it just depends on what they are or whatever, whether it needs to be done by a resolution or an ordinance. But before that, we need to come up with the rules so Joe can review that and sort of give us a legal opinion on that. So what this motion here does, it basically, again, puts us into gear here to draft the community park rules. Let's have these by May 1st so we can discuss these. We can get those to Joe. We can discuss these at the work session. And perhaps then we could figure out maybe at the next meeting, business meeting, whether we put a motion on the table to direct Joe to make an ordinance. Or if we don't go that route, we'll have a resolution on the table. But we need to know what the rules are. And that is going to be a task for Jason and your group to sort of come together, citizens come together, what those rules are. I don't know what they are.
Nice started, I know.
Yeah.
Mayor just gave me a list too.
Yeah, because we started back at the Centennial, we wanted to do this.
And I've
so-
been talking to some people
Good.
about different ideas, and I said, well, give me a list you want. Just make up a list. Just go ahead. Different people, anybody, you have ideas, whatever to say, hand me a list, we'll go through, and whatever the most common that everyone's saying. Like, another thing I want to say, May 6th at our meeting, that way when we go to our work session, I can say, here's some of the rules. We have to get the verbiage down of what we want, give it to him, and then if we can have it by that, we already have the rules we want. At the work session, we can work through it. Then we give it to him, and then say by the following week, then we can sit there and actually just vote on it. Say, look, now we can go ahead and then
Order
pass a
sign.
motion to order a sign, because that would be something separate.
And as you develop the rules, I mean, we could use the Monday memo to share.
Yes.
If you pass it on to me, I'll put that in there.
This is all going on a sign, is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Sign, a couple signs, yeah. Okay, so
Go around, check out other ones, take pictures of them.
Yeah.
So you're good? I mean, you
Yeah,
spoke.
on the 6th, I was gonna say, like I said, I've talked to a couple different people. Mayor just gave me hers. Like I said, anybody else that has any other people that want to give me any lists, we can just compare the lists and go through, and I'll pick some of the. And there'll be some that we say, hey, they might not be on the list. That someone else comes up at the work session, we can add to.
And please, everybody, reach out to the public on these matters. Ask the public what they feel, what they think, right? And that as, you know, to help inform us as to what should be the appropriate park rules. Okay.
I'm gonna reach out to the baseball too, because they're down there quite a bit. You're down there with pickleball, you know.
Sure.
I want your input too. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, and I have people that go down there walking all the time. Biggest thing, like dogs, that's on there too. And that was one of the things I had, like dogs running a lot and the dog poop and all this other stuff. You know, it's like.
Yep, that's easy enough.
Sue, any thoughts? You want to say anything to the
No,
motion?
I think it's fine the way it is.
Okay, I spoke my piece on it.
Good.
Justin?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's call a question.
The 6th, do we agree, like the 6th, that's our work session meeting.
To have a draft by the
Draft, yeah.
1st, so we can then vet,
Set it up.
talk about it at the 6th.
Well, that's what I mean, have it all.
You have to have
Well,
it ahead of
6th.
time. Have it ahead of time, then be prepared to speak about it at the 6th meeting.
May 1st is a goal to have it done, so that we could sort of chew on it, and then bring it to the meeting, discuss it, so. Okay, how do you vote?
Me? I'm still, well, I mean, matter of 5 days is not a big.
It's only April 8th. We're
Yeah,
good.
well, I'm looking at days I'm gonna be here, not here, that's why. Okay, you're talking like a Friday, so what I'm saying is, even if it was you're saying Monday the 4th, that would your Monday session on the 4th, your Monday's memo for the Monday, let's even say May 4th, I would say yes. Because I'm not here that whole end of May, or end of April, beginning of May.
Well, the way the motion is that we're gonna have park rules, a draft of
Yes.
park rules by May 1st.
So you can put them out there.
To get the.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, but he mentioned to me that Monday memo, that's the 4th, that's why I'm saying by the 4th.
Yeah. Okay,
So I'd say the 4th, I'd say yes,
so the motion stands.
if it's the 4th.
Motion stands as written?
No,
You
at
good
the
with
4th, would you,
No,
no, then I'd
you
say
can have
no.
it ahead of time
I'm
so that you
saying-
can have it prepared for
Yeah,
the
ahead of time, the
4th.
first.
Well, the 4th, that's what I'm saying is, the work session's on the 6th. You said you want to present it on the Monday meeting, that's the 4th.
The Monday memo.
Monday memo, that's on the
He
4th.
puts out.
Have it out by the
But you
4th,
need to have
here's
it
the
before
idea,
that.
and then people can look at it, and then we can discuss it on the 6th.
He needs to have it ahead of time though. So
Well, that's what I'm saying, if I'm,
Not the 4th, he
The
needs it by
motion-
the 1st so
The
he can
motion
put
is
it all
called
together.
to have a draft by May
Just
1st.
have everything in there. by the
When are you
1st.
leaving on your trip, or are you even be out
well,
of town?
no, I mean, like I said, end of April through that weekend. So that's why I said by the 4th, I definitely have it before that, so you can post that on the 4th.
Okay,
That's what he needs to do.
so by April,
They can
like
do so.
20th or 23rd or
Well,
24th?
no, I'm just saying, May, like, because you're not going to get everybody in the next 2 weeks. You're not going to get.
Okay, so let's, we were calling the question. You vote yes or no on the motion as written?
As written, no.
Okay, you vote? Sure. I vote yes. So the motion passes with one objection here. Okay, and Jason
Objection to the date.
Jason objects. Okay. All right, the motion passes. All right, general administration. So I guess, Justin, you had talked to Jenna about a work phone, having a work phone. And we briefly talked about this at the work session. Yeah, she shouldn't be using her own phone, really, to do all this stuff. But what does a work phone mean? You know, really, and what does it cost? What's it look like? You know, that sort of stuff. I don't think we have any of that planned out. So I would recommend that we table this here till we get more info and sort of explore this a little bit. Jenna may have ideas on what might work for her, right? We have none of that input. So,
I mean, is she gonna wanna carry two phones, or
Yeah,
would
where
we be better off just paying her for her phone?
it's her,
There's two sides to it. Is like because of the right to know,
Yep.
And-
They subpoena her.
it's like she shouldn't do any personal stuff on like a business phone because then her personal stuff is kind of subject to
Subpoena.
Okay.
yeah.
the separation of something, whatever
Yeah,
that is.
I have to tell you, one of the lawyers on one of the PSAB trainings I had recently said this, to this point, it said, yeah, so if you're doing your council business on your regular phone and you have a law case and it gets, your phone, the records get subpoenaed, you have to turn over your phone and get also all your pictures. Naughty pictures on your phone are going to be in the hands of a lawyer. So one reason.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we're in agreement, let's table this so we can get some more information, talk with Jenna a little more, and
Sounds
bring this
good.
back up.
But doesn't that go with everybody then? Your personal phone?
You should not be using your personal email to.
Or just be aware.
Yeah.
Just be
Or be
aware
aware
what the
of
deal
whatever
is.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Personal Facebook accounts, social media accounts, all that stuff.
And I made this point a couple times in the Monday memos and at other meetings that, just beware of that. If you're using it for this purpose, yeah. Okay, so we will table this, till we get some more information. That's
Read the emails, then delete it.
So let's
Get
move
rid of
on.
everything. Huh?
Let's move on here to
You need
government
to know.
here. Now, this resolution is, why it's under government is that, and not public safety, although it very well could be, is that these professional reports are in fact municipal records. Some of them are required by law. They have to be kept. Depending on what they are, they have to be kept. Some are kept for 5 years, some are kept for 4 years, some are kept for a lifetime, right? So I'm putting this resolution here requiring the code enforcement officer, emergency management coordinator, fire chief, planning zoning officer, and police chief to provide council written monthly public safety professional reports. One, to as it says here in this motion, these are essential municipal records and official counts of public safety activities. These reports inform us, council, enabling us to carry out our duty and obligation to provide proper oversight and accountability over public safety programs and officials. These reports, subject to the Pennsylvania Right to Know law, they inform the public, enable public awareness and trust in municipal public safety programs and officials. And so this motion basically says that we will require these appointed officers to provide written monthly reports. Now, what those reports are, council, in consultation with public safety professionals, shall determine what information should be included in the written monthly public safety professional reports. So what goes into your code enforcement report, we can figure that out, right?
Well, we turn in reports every month. We give one to Kathy, we give one to Jenna.
Not this month. We will, but not this month because we have no ink.
We are going through a ton of ink.
Okay.
We're getting things we shouldn't be getting, like a picture of something. You go to print it and the whole page is gray. It uses up a lot of ink.
Well, if you need resources for your work, then that's.
No, it just needs to get scanned or mailed to him, you know, to where we're not getting photo pictures. It's just a waste of money.
So the police chief Johnson is giving us a report, check, right? The fire chief, Mr. Stowe, he's given us a report. We do not have monthly written reports from emergency management report coordinator, from planning, zoning, and.
We've never been asked for like anything like it. We send in, like, if I do occupancy permits, that is all recorded. Building permits, excavation permits, all that's all recorded and sent to the right people. But if you're after a report like that, like got a phone call on this date from this person about high grass, I mean, I don't know how far in depth you want me to go.
I think it's a discussion to be had with council, public safety committee, you know, what information is useful to us in oversight and accountability of the borough. I was looking through Chris Lemon's old reports, and he had the permits, all the different permits that were issued that month, right? The permit, type of permit, the recipient, the permit number, right?
We have all that. We turn all that in.
Well,
we
we're
keep a
not
copy
seeing
of
it. We're not seeing it here, and I think that's what maybe we need to coordinate is maybe we need to go back with, you know, swing back with what we did with Kathy's report, is put it all in one place. So
Well, the same report she gets is the same report the courthouse gets, is the same report that Jenna gets. It's the same one. She scans it into her file, so why she doesn't bring it, I can't answer.
If I get a building permit application and a check, I will take the permit application, I'll put the check on it, lay it on the scanner, I scan it over to Jenna. So I do that with all my building permits and everything. So we are keeping track of all that. If you want a detailed report, I mean, for what you're paying me $5 a day, I should be able to give you a lot of reports.
We did when we first started, and then people just stopped asking. So it's like, right, what's the point of me spending
Well, you
time
know,
and
I've been
time?
putting it in a fund.
How many yards we went to, and how many
Rainy day
trash cans
fund.
we had to talk about, you know, because
Look,
nobody asks anymore.
I don't
We'll
think
run and ask.
I don't think anybody wants to make this more complicated or a burden than it needs to be.
Good, thanks.
But yeah, right. So you know, so I think that's how we should approach it. We should, like, you know, what is the what should we have for council oversight and accountability here? Also our municipal records, and so we can then know how long to keep these records and not get rid of things before their time, or, you know, that sort of stuff. So we're getting all this in alignment. So what these conversations are, they will be, right? We'll figure that out. That's why it says in consultation with the public professional. You know, I mean, look, if you guys want to do this online, we can set that up where you can sit at home in your underwear and do these reports at any time,
Well,
right? And we will have them.
We just had to buy a new computer.
Wait, the report that we give about the building permits, that's given, like I said, it has everything on it. I don't know why it's not coming. Also, when it comes to occupancy permits, and if that's all on the expense report, where it's at, when it's, you know what I mean? So how many more? Those should be it, because that's,
right.
We shouldn't be talking about tattling on people.
In your case, for both of you, planning and zoning and code, maybe we need to figure out what is one, you know, make this easy possible, one report, or get a summary to council, right? Because we're not getting, correct me if I'm wrong.
We can do that.
We are not getting we're not getting this, right? We're not getting what the fire chief provides us.
You won't get one
We're not
like that
getting
either.
what Chris Lemon provided. It's in those files over there. So
I had to go out and buy a laptop
Mhm.
just so we could do all this stuff out of my pay.
It's all right.
So this motion is requiring the written monthly public safety professional reports. What those are, to be determined, right? We'll work that out, as this resolution says. But when we have these reports, we'll keep them in accordance with the Municipal Records Act. We will handle them on a disposal retention schedules according to the Municipal Records Manual and so forth. Okay? So
Can we do something else? I just have a question. Can we get either the stuff mailed to me directly to, you know, for the applications and everything? Or can Jenna get the mail directly to her house? Because, you know, we're waiting days sometimes for stuff, and because she doesn't get a chance to come over and empty the mailbox out, and, you know, I
That's
got.
not bad on her or nothing, it's just.
So that's sort of a policy and procedures kind of thing that you guys should work out with Bob and Sue on public safety. Whatever you need to, whatever you can do to figure out.
She has to go out of her way to come over here to get the mail that Pat would get right at her house.
Sure.
But at the same time, if she's making 31 a year, I mean, that is a full-time job pay. I mean,
It's just sometimes people will call me and say, hey, where's this?
I think Bob's more concerned getting to him. Yes, so if she's getting it, that's her job, but she needs to get it to you. So that's something you need to maybe address with her
So
too.
let's bring this back to the resolution here, which is the policy resolution requiring these monthly reports. We will require, Eli, whatever you think is necessary for us to know. I know that many of us feel that we want to know about readiness every month. You know, are we ready, emergency management wise? Each month, what activities have been taking place, will take place. Those are the kinds of things I think we could sort of figure out what would be in your report. But this motion will require a monthly report. Okay? Justin, you want to say anything?
Yeah, we just have to figure out what those reports look like. You know, you don't want it to be a burden, but, you know, yeah, sure.
Bob, you have anything else to say?
Nope.
Okay. John,
Nope.
Mayor, anything else?
So you and I will have to go over the report every month.
Okay, I've said my piece on this. Let's call the question. Justin, how do you vote on the resolution?
Yes.
Okay, Bob?
Yes.
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 Jason?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I vote yes. Okay, so this passes. Now it's up to us. We'll make it work, right? We're gonna make it work with each other, right? Why reinvent the wheel and stuff? Let's just conform to what we need to conform to here. Okay. So down to our last section here, Public Works. We are,
That'll be brought up at the work session, right? Reports.
Oh, yeah, reports and also
Work session.
in between, start working with public safety guys and start those conversations, yeah. So under Public Works here, there's a motion directing the Public Works, Budget and Finance to begin the process of participation in the PennDOT Agility Program so that a resolution approving an agility program agreement can be approved by council at the May 26th meeting. Whew, it's a mouthful. It's not a very elegant motion here. But what we have to do, and we talked about joining, Brian certainly recommends it. We talked about this at the work session, the advantages to this. John, you looked into this.
Yes, I did.
If we are going to do this, we have to make an agreement with the state, with PennDOT. That's a process, that's a whole thing. And so it doesn't make any sense to put the cart before the horse here. What this motion is asking is, let's go ahead and get this agreement going. And when we have an agreement, we'll bring that to council for approval in May. Because you ever seen one of those agreements, they're multi-pages and there's a lot of stuff specific and you got PennDOT and we have to sort of do stuff. So let's make that happen. This motion puts this into gear. All right, let's go this way. Sue?
I don't have anything to say, but I think John does, so I'm waiting to hear what he has to say.
Okay. Mayor?
I think it's good, but are they gonna come down and talk to people on council before they come up with this agreement, or are they just gonna come up with this?
Well, we're gonna let Public Works
Talk to
Public
them.
Works, and because this involves some budget and finance stuff, Justin could be involved.
Right.
And then you guys, have that conversation with PennDOT and see what is necessary for the agreement. There's a form you have to use, yada, yada. We need to be aware of what those terms and conditions are. Like, there's no money involved.
Right.
Just,
But I think it's give and take work.
There's that stuff. So
Yeah.
let's look before we leap on this.
Right.
That's what this does. John?
I talked to a person on the phone last week about this, and she said everything's done through email. So I sent them an email. I have not heard back, so I'm gonna call them again tomorrow and find out why they haven't responded to the email I sent them. She said you have to specifically do it by email. They don't do it anything over the phone. They just do it by email. They're supposed to send things, but I gotta talk to them again tomorrow and find out why they haven't responded yet, so. It could be because of Easter weekend too, I don't know.
It's probably a portal.
Yeah,
log into a portal. Yeah. Okay.
So wait to find out. I will call them again tomorrow and see what's going on.
Okay. Bob?
And nothing.
Justin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have a comment on it, but I'll support in any way that I can, so.
Okay. I'm obviously in favor of this. I think it's a good idea. If we're gonna do this, let's go ahead and do it. Let's get it going. Sue, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Okay, I vote yes. Okay, so this motion passes and we will get this into motion, Brian, and we will be off to the races, working on this. So your input in all this would be very important to the process. Okay. The last item we have
Before we
here.
go on, can I
Yes.
say one more thing?
Sure.
The other thing that I did was I spoke with the DEP about that other thing we had on that thing from last week. And I got it, I left a voicemail for Brian Stillwell or something, I think is his name, but he hasn't returned my phone call yet, but I will call them back tomorrow again about the DEP, whatever forms we need to do for them.
The reporting.
Yeah, right. Okay, sorry.
So number 2 here under Public Works, this is a motion authorizing Public Works to spend up to $2,000 appropriated from the Aqua Sewer Fund toward the purchase of a utility trailer suitable for the pipe camera and other needs. We've been kicking around this idea for a couple of months now. I talked to Brian about this, what would be a sufficient amount of money required to get a suitable trailer for the pipe camera to haul around the borough to store it and so forth, maybe some other needs in there. $2,000 seems like a workable number for you. So this motion basically grants Public Works to spend up to $2,000 to get this trailer for the pipe camera. Sue, thoughts?
Sounds, I trust Brian.
Yep, I do too. If you're getting a box, do you wanna get a little box on?
Close trailer.
Yeah.
Like a 4x8 or something?
Yeah,
That was, okay. That seems reasonable to me.
Okay, Mayor, you,
Seems good.
Yes.
Bob?
My one question is that going to be okay to take out of the aqua? Are we saying restricted fund, or are we just saying the actual?
I would say take it out of the restricted fund.
Yeah,
I mean, it's April already, unless you guys have something else. You don't have to use money out of that restricted fund every year. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
okay? I don't think White Township used any when I talked to their solicitor. But that certainly is a reasonable, because that's what I submitted to them that for last year we bought the camera. So to say we spend a little bit more money for a trailer to haul it around, it certainly makes sense.
Okay, perfect.
I did have one thing to say. If you're gonna spend that, if you're gonna get a five by, what'd you say, 5x8?
and one I was looking at it last week for 5 days, yeah.
Can you put the riding mower into that?
No.
Can you look for something a little bit bigger in case
Sure.
like you have to take the Skag and take it up to Butler or something? I mean, that way it'd be a multi-use.
I was actually looking at one there, it was on there today, it was 7 by 12. Now you can put mower in that.
I'd rather do something like that if we pay, a little bit more and get something like that. That way we'd be able to use it for other things. Because if you have to take that riding mower somewhere, how do you take it?
Either in the back of the dump truck or.
Yeah, and it's a pain in the butt to get it in the back of the dump truck. You have to pick it up with a machine or something.
You gotta pick it up with a.
Yeah, so I'd rather get a trailer that's multifunctional.
okay, whatever you guys think is appropriate.
Okay.
Is that money okay for something that size?
I'm
2,000.
still using it for the.
No, I'm saying is $2,000 enough?
Oh, I don't know.
Probably not.
Well, it depends what you can find.
Brian, your thoughts?
They generally, something small in the size like that, that's general price of them, but if you wanna get into, something bigger like a 7 by 16 or something like that, yeah, you're gonna.
I just can't see buying something that we can only use it for that purpose.
Yeah, it just,
For-
that it's gonna take
for-
up more room in the garage, the bigger ones you get,
For the purposes of appropriating money for this purchase, it would be for the pipe camera.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, did you want to say anything else?
I just want to make sure $2,000 is enough for if we go with a larger trailer, so to haul other equipment to repair pipes with.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
That would come under other needs.
Is $2,000 enough, or do we need to make it 2,500 or 3,000? Is the question.
Why don't you make it up to? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is up to $2,000 enough for a bigger trailer?
Or do you wanna go up
If
to?
you wanted to go that route, I'd hold it at $3,000 and you'd be good.
Change it to $3,000.
Do we
Make it
wanna-
up to three.
Up to
grand.
$3,000.
Up to 3, we put on the
I mean,
amending?
don't spend $3,000.
Yeah, right. I'm going to try to find one $500 or something like that,
I'm with you.
Okay, so the motion is amended to spend up to $3,000. Okay, alrighty, I'm good with that. Let's call the question on this, Sue,
Yes.
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the motion passes as amended.
Just so you guys know, Jake used that camera the other day. He took it up and cambered the sewer out in front of Kathy's place. Worked good. Did you use it too?
Yeah, I use it down in front of Bob's house.
So we've used it twice already.
Nice.
Great. Great. Okay, so we've concluded our business portion here. We are now to the payment of bills and ratification of purchases made by oversight committee chairs. We need a motion to do this. We don't specifically know what this is because our secretary treasurer isn't here, but this is a performative thing, so what bills that we did incur this month will be covered. This will authorize the secretary to go ahead and pay those. So, if without any objection to pay the bills, we will pass this.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, pass to pay the bills. Okay, good and welfare, any good positive things? Kathy, you always have something positive to say. What do?
I have your first aid kit and your gloves and your hot and cold packs for the park.
My goodness.
So
Okay.
I don't know who wants to guard those, but it's not gonna be me. So whoever wants to take them or put them somewhere, do whatever.
Okay, yeah, definitely great.
And you can get, I looked online, and you can get acrylic boxes with locks
Yeah.
that you can mount on the wall down there. Cause we said we were gonna lock them up. And only use it when somebody was in the kitchen shelter, or whatever you wanna do. But you can't get lockable
You might as well just
acrylic
put it in the
boxes,
kitchen then,
so they can see what's in there.
without,
Okay, we discussed this at the work session, which came out of, we were having a conversation about some
Because
person got
there was an
kicked.
accident
Yeah.
the last Easter.
Right, so we thought we'd kick it over to Culture and Rec to think about how to provide first aid kits, and Kathy, you said that you had some materials, and there they are. Awesome.
She donated the first one.
Donated the first one, great, thank you very much.
Welcome.
And that's also with emergency management too. I know if you contact some of the counties will donate those as well.
Oh.
So
it's
instead of
good
us
to know.
Yeah.
spending that, because like the schools have to word it a certain way, but the schools get certain ones donated, so they don't have to cheap and squeak, they get certain, but most of the time they buy, but they'll get a certain amount. They're not gonna supply everyone in every building, but
Okay, however we can get our hands on the goods.
I've got something good.
Okay, let's hear it.
4 building permits, almost $800 in
Nice.
checks in 1 month.
Okay,
And there might be another check for for 50 or something, from contingent occupancy permit. So it's a pretty good month anyways.
Good.
Something else, Kevin, you didn't mention the signs that we had made.
Oh, yeah.
All
Oh,
for the
nice.
sewer overflow. Yeah.
that's what.
Ththese signs will go
I
up
was
in the
just gonna
park
say.
if we have another sewage overflow.
Good.
Well, because I had mentioned, that was one of the things I was just gonna bring up. That, because the baseball team had asked, because they had mentioned they had talked to
Yeah.
Jake. And, they were saying the signs, when they were going up, they're yelling at the kids, get out. Great.
How many
Kids
signs
can't
did
stay
you
out
have?
of the creek. I know they
What
all
did
wanna
what'd we
go
say,
there and play.
14? Did we do
14
14 signs?
15.
No, they were $14 a piece. I
Oh,
can't
really?
remember what it was.
okay, well,
There
that
is-
is good. We're working on the policy, right, the hazard specific plan, when we have the next, SSO. We will have, the basis to be able to address that. These signs are a part of that plan. It's public safety guys working on that, vetting that, working on that. Eli, we'll bring that in with you for your consultation on that. Good, thank you, Bob, for dealing with that.
We have something else. Brian got a price on drain culverts. Drain, what do you call them?
Great.
Grates.
The great, yeah.
What did Ole Astro bid? Did he bid putting the
He
whole
just-
new works in?
No, he,
It's just
he
grates?
gave us a price on it, which I didn't tell him to do. But he was just pricing the grate for the top of what we got.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, he got a good price from, was that Valley, or where'd you get the,
Valley Steel.
1,300?
Yeah.
We have a lot of grates that are bad. We've got holes in the roads. We got a cone sitting on one at the end of Matilda. It's something we should say yes or no, like now, get this rolling.
Well, that's one thing on the one on Matilda, it's gonna need dug out and cemented.
But we need to tell them yes or no to get busy on getting these things fixed before somebody gets hurt.
Well, we can't do this now. This should have been brought up earlier.
He just got the price today.
We started this meeting looking at the agenda and, asking what needed to be on this agenda for business.
Okay.
That should have been brought up. I'm not opposed to it, and I think it would happen, and quite frankly, I think this is something that needs to be emergency.
Yeah,
Emergency.
that's what I was
Do
thinking.
it, do it, you guys do it.
Okay.
right? Not everything needs to be brought around here and
I
discussed.
thought for the price.
If it is an emergency thing. and
Okay.
We have to be prudent, right? If
Okay.
we're gonna spend money, let's be smart about it. Look, we should trust you guys to make those calls, right? We just need to be aware of it.
Yeah, and-
So that 1,300, is that for all the grates that
That's all,
need to be
how many
replaced?
grates?
5.
5 grates.
It's-
Is that the one on rock too, the one that's collapsed there?
Trying to get my mind going, one on rock. Which one's that?
That's not rock, that's Bowden?
No, it's on rock.
Oh.
I told, like, if you go down, the grate's bent down in, and if someone walks over that, it's coming down.
Isn't
All right,
that?
well, we're gonna get on them, we're gonna get on them.
You guys have a weird understanding of what good welfare is, let me tell you.
I'm
not on welfare.
I'm not on welfare anymore.
Happy and rejoice.
Comcast approved the franchise fee.
Oh, here we
That's
go.
good.
That's excellent.
Increase.
Well, that's pretty close to you.
So there we go.
Good.
Okay.
How about the bed of the truck? Did everybody see the
All
truck
right.
bed?
All right, this is all out of
Got a new
order.
one.
This is all out of order. I'm gonna declare these conversations out of order.
That's under good.
Seeing that we've covered all of the items on our agenda, I believe that we are done, and we are adjourned at 8:03. Thank you all.